Every action a human undertakes, whether conscious or unconscious, is governed by a set of mental processes that attempt to reduce uncertainty. These processes are most evident in one of the most natural and universal activities, search. At its core, search is the manifestation of a signal-driven mind, a system structured to process, filter, and act upon inputs, whether external stimuli or internal intuitions. Search is not merely an internet-era behavior, it is primordial. The animal that sniffs the ground, the human that flips through a book, the philosopher who sits in silence, all are searching. Search is the willful orientation of perception toward a potential resolution. It is distinct from browsing, which is more ambient, exploratory, and undirected. The two modes of engagement, search and browse, define much of what occurs in our day-to-day lives. Browsing is the ambient noise of consciousness. Search is the moment it is focused into a question. To understand search, we must understand signal. A signal is an indication, physical, emotional, symbolic, that something is happening or available. In the realm of perception, everything is a signal. Light waves, temperature shifts, gesture, posture, vocal tone. Each of these becomes a unit of information capable of being interpreted by the mind. But not every signal is perceived, and not every perceived signal is correctly interpreted. This gives rise to the core challenge of the mind, interpretation. Interpretation is the work of perception structured by expectation. This means that the human mind is not a passive receiver of information, but a filtering and modeling machine that guesses and checks reality as it unfolds. Search is what happens when the guesses aren't sufficient, and we turn the modeling system toward resolution. We look again, we seek, we ask. This entire system becomes hyper-accelerated in the context of digital life. The search engine becomes an extension of the psyche. Autocomplete becomes a map of collective questions. Our browsing patterns reveal not just preferences, but unarticulated confusions. The algorithm is a mirror of unconscious search patterns, a recommender of signals we didn't know we wanted. The philosopher in the digital age must therefore contend not just with meaning, but with signal-to-noise ratios. The noise is high. Every image is a suggestion. Every scroll is a gesture of unresolved search. What are we looking for? In many cases, even the searcher does not know. The philosopher, aware of this, returns again and again to the function of the question. The question is the architecture of the signal, shaped and made articulate by language. To ask is to search with structure. To search is to follow a signal into the unknown. This creates a recursive feedback loop where search clarifies signal, signal reshapes search, and meaning, always tentative, emerges as a function of signal interpretation. In psychological terms, this loop underlies both sanity and psychosis. A psyche that cannot organize its signals may lose its grip on consensual reality. Conversely, a psyche that becomes too rigid in filtering out signals may miss fundamental truths. The art of interpretation requires calibration between openness and structure, between curiosity and coherence. Thus, search is not merely a digital activity or a cognitive process. It is a metaphysical orientation toward what is unknown but felt. Every question is a signal flare into the void. Every answer a partial reflection of light returned. To live well is to search clearly. To search clearly is to understand that not all signals are equal. The question then becomes, what are you really searching for? And who is doing the searching?